Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Force. David Cottingham here, and in for Casey Cooley. First time on the show, Russell Johnson.
Hey, everybody, what's up? Thanks for having me on the show.
Man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing awesome. Thanks for having me on the show.
Those of you that are familiar with the 21 Network obviously know Russell Johnson from the 21 Podcast, as well as In the Comics. Yep. I pretty much mention the show every time we talk about the comics part of this show.
Nice.
So, and you can check that out every Friday, even though it hasn't been coming out on Fridays.
I know. We're a little busy.
Yeah,
but we're trying. We're trying.
Correct. Where we talk about nothing but comics in the comic book world, TVs, movies, all kinds of news on there. So check that out. But this is Inside the Force, where we do nothing but Star Wars.
Nice.
Star Wars. I cannot believe we haven't had you
I know.
actually on.
I know. It's exciting. I haven't been on the show yet. So when you told me today, I was like, sweet, I haven't been on the show yet. It's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, we're going to run down the news as normal. I'm going to get Russell's take on his speculation for episode 7. We're going to do some trivia. Everybody's on the show does trivia.
All right, no problem.
I can give you records because Chad's been on a couple times and Corey's been on a couple times.
Okay.
So trivia. That's 2,500 questions here.
Okay.
All right. So first off, we've been ever since we changed this format here a few weeks ago, we've been kind of just hitting on anything has to do with anything Star Wars related, from movies, TV, comics, books, games, whatever. We'll keep you up to date. We'll do the full reviews once everything starts rolling out. Obviously, you know, first thing that's coming is Star Wars Rebels, which is starting this fall. The 2-week premiere still hasn't been announced as far as date wise, but we'll get that into that later. Movie wise, though, of course, which is episode 7 coming December 18th of next year.
Can't believe
Yeah,
that.
I know. A year and a half, man.
Wow. That's amazing.
So the first bit of news from there is the biggest one this past week is the casting announcement of two new members of the cast that have joined this past week. And the cool thing about this is these two characters are a female and a male. Basically, Crystal Clark is the female, and then Pip Anderson is the boy. Crystal is an American actress. She was studying in Glasgow, UK, and then Pip is a British actor. Both were found in that open casting call.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So these are relatively unknowns. I mean, I think he's got a movie coming out later, or she's got a movie coming out later called The Moon and the Sun, and then he's been in he does parkour.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so obviously I think he's probably, I'm going to assume he's cast as a Jedi. And he was recently in a Spider-Man commercial for Sony.
Oh, really?
So those are the only real big things these actors have done. So they were part of the open casting call. So people that thought, oh, that was just a marketing ploy. No, they actually found some actors out of that. So, and I'm assuming they're probably going to grab maybe some more for little featured roles or something like that. But yeah, that's the big thing. Because they said the casting call spanned 11 cities across the U.S. and U.K. and over 37,000 people attended, and a further 30,000 submitted online. So over 67,000 actors and actresses. And that's not, I don't even know if that's including the people that he turned away, because Casey went down to Nashville and did it, and he said there was a whole room full of people, and what they did was when you got in line, they either said go here or go here, and if you went the one way, it was just submit your name, we'll call you later.
Okay,
kind of thing.
yeah.
And then the other way, you actually met with a casting director who took your picture, and then maybe called you back for a read.
Oh, cool.
So I don't think they're even counting
Probably
those people.
not. Probably not.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we're talking probably a couple
sure.
100,000 people to
It's a
try to get in there.
big pool to choose from.
Absolutely. The other news, I don't think we mentioned this last week, but it has been confirmed that Andy Serkis, famous for playing Gollum and Caesar from Planet of the Apes, is going to be a motion caption character of Star Wars. I think everybody
pretty much
knew that. I mean,
when
was the last time
when he was cast? It was like he had to be.
Yeah. Do you remember the last time he was actually an actor?
Oh gosh, what was he in? I do remember him actually playing a role where he was just himself, but wasn't it like a comedy or drama or something?
It was a Nolan movie.
Really?
The Prestige. You ever seen The Prestige?
Is that the
Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale?
Yeah, I did see that.
Magician?
Yeah, I did see that.
He's the assistant to
Oh, okay.
Remember
All right,
Tesla?
yeah. All right, yeah. Okay, all right, gotcha.
That's the last time I remember him.
Yeah,
on camera. I don't know if
I know I've
since.
seen him on camera as himself, as opposed to some motion capture. But yeah, you're probably right.
But he's a brilliant actor. I mean, either way. But I mean, it's just it almost is. You want to talk about typecast? It's almost like, well, if he's going to be in a movie, he's definitely going to be motion capture.
He's the new. Who's the guy that did Silver Surfer and Doug Jones?
Doug Jones,
does Ape Sapien and stuff like that. He's Andy Serkis kind of the main go-to guy on that.
You're right.
Is that actually mentioned Planet of the Apes? The new series, the new movie. I've seen the trailers a bunch of times. Man, it looks
so good.
It's like insane, man.
I know.
This looks insane.
I mean, I wish he would get. I remember last time when Rise of the Planet of the Apes came out, there was a big Oscar push for him. Mm-hmm. That takes some talent. Oh, sure,
absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
And I think they need to recognize that for real. I hope maybe, like you said, this one looks phenomenal too. And
right.
It looks like he speaks more in this too, so
yeah.
It's not just moving around. Even though Gollum, he talked a lot.
Sure.
But,
it's hard to do, though. Even when he was doing Planet of the Apes, you have to have all that non-verbal communication skill and to do that all through your face. And he's doing it motion capture. It's not like they're just, they're using him as a reference. I mean, they're using his actual acting to make these characters come to life. So, yeah, he definitely deserves to be noticed for what he does, for sure.
And then the only real other bit of news is the production schedule. Everybody's kind of worried about Harrison Ford's leg injury. He's recovering nicely, apparently. They have announced that they're going to go on a 2-week hiatus in August to let him, I guess, recover a little bit better and then come back and still complete filming in the fall, which would not set them back. The release schedule is still going to look into be in December of next year. Now, there was a brief article that did come out after Harrison's injury that said that Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams want to move the release to May of 2016. But the president of Disney is not letting them. Which is kind of weird because we get Star Wars movies every May.
Right.
So this is going to be the one, but it seems like now we're going to get them every December because December of 2016 we're getting a solo film.
Right.
Not a Han Solo film.
Individual solo character film.
Correct. Which right now looks like it might be Boba Fett. And then episode 7 will be 2017, or episode 8 will be 2017 in December. So it looks like they're doing them every year. So what's your thoughts on
it's a harsh production schedule?
Well, what's your thoughts on do you know about them hiring this guy Rian Johnson? He's directing episode 8.
Oh, Rian Johnson,
already.
Yeah. He did. Didn't he do? He did. What's the movie? Brick. That was his first movie.
Correct.
I love that film. That was awesome.
And he just did something recently.
Yeah,
Chronicle.
Did,
was he the Chronicle? No, he wasn't the Chronicle guy.
I can't remember what the next one was, but
yes, he's doing episode 8 and writing the treatment for episode 9.
Jeez, that dude really jumped.
I know, right? And he's a huge Star. That's the best thing is they're grabbing huge Star Wars fans. Let me.
That's interesting because he doesn't. I've never. Well, wait a minute. I want to say. Oh, he did. Jeez, what was the?
Looper.
Jeez,
Yes, we talked about that last week.
Looper, yes, he did that. So he's done some sci-fi.
He
which
has.
is
And Looper was a
his-
phenomenal
That was
movie.
his first. That's the first sci-fi I've seen from him. Outside, I mean, I only know him from Brick and Looper, but I love.
that's pretty much
I love
his
both
big
those
movies.
movies, and yeah, so that's good.
So what's your, because you know being in production too, I think that's a great idea. To even though I probably want AJ to do, or AJ, your son is AJ.
He's in the other room. He's playing.
JJ to do 8 and 9.
I like AJ to direct a Star Wars movie. Awesome.
Yeah. For some reason, I just thought, okay, JJ's going to take over and do this whole
Sure,
trilogy,
yeah.
but it doesn't look like that's the case.
That's interesting. What's my take on that?
Well, what's your take on that? And different directors, and already announcing, because they've announced the 2 directors for the 2 solo films too, that are in between.
I don't know. I think with the main movies, I would prefer to see, knowing Abrams' work, I would prefer him kind of, because I know he's going to do a good job with Star Wars. So I think he would be good across the board, but I can understand with his busy schedule and other films he's got to do, that bringing in somebody else, I don't know. I'm afraid that it might get a little disjointed or might feel differently, but I'm sure with the machine that's behind all this, production wise, and Kathleen Kennedy be involved, stuff like that, it's gonna maintain a pretty strict format. It's not going to go off the rails and do something completely out of the ordinary for the main films. They might do that with some of the solo films, or I can get different directors for that. I'm all for that. That's fine. I think I don't think I have somebody doing the main movies do the side films as well. That's a little much, but I don't know. I think it's an interesting choice for Johnson to do that, because say I only know him from 2 films. That doesn't mean I don't know his. He's not going to do a good job, but. Looper being, it's sci-fi, but it was still very grounded in reality. Mm-hmm. It had a lot of elements, good storytelling. I mean, a story that's not confusing, but very intricate in terms of timelines and stuff like that. And, that's when you do time travel films and stuff like that gets very hard, I think, from a director standpoint, to tell a story, to keep it concise and understandable for the audience, but he did a good job of that. But Star Wars doesn't really live in that world too much, so it's very much a linear story, except for the prequels. But still, if you look at it as a whole, it's still a very linear storyline. So I would prefer to see JJ do all 3 next 3, and maybe do a new director after that on the next 3 or something like that. Whatever, trilogies I would like to have it in-house with one person, but I don't see.
I
prefer it, but
the original trilogy, obviously it worked.
Yeah.
And because I think we're okay in a sense that the story is probably there.
Sure, yeah.
The treatment from Lucas is there.
Yeah.
They're just modifying it, I guess, a little bit, but yeah, it is going to be different to, these days as opposed to back then. There wasn't that much. I don't want to say there wasn't that much creativity, but the shooting styles were so much different in the 70s and the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was, everything looked uniform.
Right.
I think with Abrams, because how creative he is with the camera,
that could be.
And all of a sudden you go to 8 and he's not doing it. It's definitely going to look different.
I would think so. That's what I was saying.
I agree. Plus,
with
you
that.
got different DPs probably, so the whole look of the film might be different. So I don't know. Yeah. I think the story is going to be solid either way, but
yeah, Abrams is very his camera. I mean, outside of let's get beyond the lens flare thing, but camera angles and the way camera moves and stuff like that. It's definitely very distinctive.
He does a lot of 360 stuff. I mean,
it kind of bears truthful. Not only in Star Wars, but even like movies like Super 8. I mean, they still have that same feel, across the board as far as like what he does with the camera, and it's very distinctive. So we'll see, because I don't think, because Rian Johnson doesn't necessarily have, at least from the 2 movies I've seen, he's not I wouldn't say he's creative with the camera, but he's more about telling a very solid story. Because Brick, being the type of movie that it was, it's kind of a noir film set in modern day with these actors talking in a very noir style. That was very unique and great storytelling because it came out and you didn't see it coming, and it was very interesting. It made a very intriguing movie, and the story was good too. It wasn't just that little fact that these characters all spoke in noir style outside of their parents, which was kind of cool little twist they had in the middle there. But Looper, again, being sci-fi, it was still very grounded story. The cafe, the diner, the fields, there wasn't a lot of epic sci-fi stuff going on, which is Star Wars. Obviously, at episode 7 and 8, it's going to be nothing but. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. But I definitely do think visually it'll look a little different.
Right. So that's that's really all the episode 7 news. TV wise, like I said earlier, Rebels coming this fall. There's supposed to be a 2-hour premiere that they haven't, or not a 2-hour. I'm sorry, it's a 1-hour premiere. 2 episodes that they haven't released yet, but it's supposed to be sometime in August is what I last heard.
What's it going to air on?
Disney XD. The 2-hour or the premiere, the 1 hour premiere, I think is just on regular Disney.
Okay.
And then Disney XD is going to take the series from there. And then transitioning that into the books, just a reminder that Star Wars A New Dawn, which is the first novel, the first canon novel about basically a prequel before the Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
That'll be out September 2nd. So my speculation, obviously, is that everybody's saying that the series will come out right after that. So look for late August, the 1-hour series premiere. The book will come out. That kind of highlights the beginning, this group of rebels getting together. Mm-hmm. And then the series will start in September on Disney XD. So I'm stoked. I can't wait for this to go, man.
This fall's going to be packed.
I know, right?
Packed.
I mean,
packed fall season.
All these shows. I mean, man. Yeah, we haven't talked about the comics shows that we're watching, but
it's insane.
So that's that's really the book stuff. I guess kind of a rundown again of like just the dates again. September 2nd, like I said, will be Star Wars A New Dawn, and then Tarkin will be in November. Star Wars Tarkin, the whole series the whole book on Tarkin's backstory. Star Wars Heir of the Empire will be in February, and then Star Wars Lords of the Sith will be in April of next year. So those are the 4 books announced, canon books, fully canon. So awesome covers of these things. So
am I under the impression that everything going forward with Disney and Marvel will be all canon? Or is there still speculation that there's going to be some non-canon stuff floating out there after the fact?
As of right now, everything is canon.
Okay.
Now, because I keep going back to the article and reading it, and they say that it says that starting now, which was in April, everything, every published work goes through the story group and is canon. Now, it does say that this is the first canon novelization,
okay. Mm-hmm.
but they have confirmed, like the comics, which we'll talk to now, that series with Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Since that was based on unaired episodes of the Clone Wars, they're saying that is canon.
Okay.
There is a story in Star Wars Insider. Star Wars Insider, the magazine. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Well, within that book, within that magazine, they have sometimes they have little short stories.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last month's issue published the first canon story in the Star Wars Insider.
Wow.
So even the Star Wars Insider has published stuff. Now, whether or not there is going to be a story that's not canon, I don't know. But as of right now, it seems like everything, definitely the Marvel line of comics, every one of those will be canon.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to read a lot of those, and I'll report those on In the Comics.
Dang.
As well as here as well. Because Casey's going to read them on here.
Okay.
But we'll talk about them on In the Comics as well. Because I'm assuming there's going to be like 5 or 6 comic lines, a series, I guess. Star Wars, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Because right now
Not
they got
surprised
5
me.
or 6.
Yeah, there's. I mean, yeah. Whenever he asked me for Star Wars comics, I'm like, which one you want? There's a zillion of them out there at this point.
Well, none of those, unfortunately, and unfortunately, the Brian Wood Star Wars line right now, that is so good,
I know.
and I hope they bring him over or they get him to do that.
That would be
series
good.
again.
There was
or
a big
something.
push for that when it was announced that they're leaving Dark Horse. That if any writer you should keep, it's Brian Wood.
Yes, that book is incredible.
Uh-huh.
So, comic-wise, again, I've mentioned it before, but there's supposed to be an announcement prior to Comic-Con, which is at the end of this month, San Diego Comic-Con. They're announcing 2 books, the first 2 Marvel series Star Wars books, starting in September. All the other Dark Horse lines are ending in August. These 2 are starting in September. We will know those here in a couple weeks. Then at Comic-Con, I think there's supposed to be all kinds of panels of Star Wars panels and talking about the show, talking about the books and stuff coming. So that's going to be pretty awesome to know. So we'll obviously talk about that when that comes out, when that gets announced. And then game-wise, nothing much on the game side except StarWars.com has released, if you have an Xbox, which I have an Xbox, you can get Star Wars avatars now as your personal, which I'm going to probably do. They got Leia's, they got Luke's. Looks like they got 3PO and Vader and Stormtroopers. Definitely going to do the Stormtrooper. Probably change my name to TK221.
I didn't think. I don't have an Xbox or even a
man.
PS4, but I'll say this: my youngest daughter, 10 years old, plays a lot of Minecraft. She's playing more Wii right now that she has it. And she said to me the other day, she's like, "Dad, I want an Xbox One so bad." I'm like, "Dang it!" I thought about it, at least till AJ was at least 8 before I started worrying about big video game systems. But she's already asking for that. So
Xbox. I'm debating. I'm going to get one eventually. I don't know when, but I'm definitely going to
she's
get an
fired.
Xbox
Yeah,
One.
she's like, I can't believe it came out of her mouth the other day. I was like, "Dang."
Okay, so that's really all the news around the net on Star Wars. The only thing else I'll mention, I can't remember if we mentioned it last week, but I think we did. I think we briefly said, but Chicago is going to be the home of the new Lucas Museum of Narrative Arts. Chicago beat out San Francisco, actually, I think.
That's amazing. That's why I was surprised when he said Chicago, because I was like,
Yes.
I've been near Lucas Ranch. I've been there, but I've been near it several times. But
Well, majority of that, there's really, I think, only Skywalker Sound in
Is that the only thing that's still
Lucasfilm. Yeah, ILM moved to LA,
okay,
so I know Skywalker Sound is still there because we're buddies. I'm buddies with that Matt Senrich from, and he does. They do all their sound at Skywalker
Okay.
Ranch, so he tweets them from there a lot still, as well as what's his name, Kevin Smith still does his sound there, but and Lucasfilm I think is still there, but ILM moved. They built a big building in LA, so because they're doing everything now. ILM's doing. And of course, a reminder: Star Wars Celebration, Anaheim, 2015, April 16th to the 19th, Anaheim Convention Center. Got to get there, people. I'm telling you, Star Wars Celebration is one of the best times. I've been to the last several. I want to say 4. I went to 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, I went to when they were numbering them.
Right.
Now they're doing them by location. You haven't made it to one yet, have you?
if I don't make it to San Diego Comic-Con this year, I got to make it out to Anaheim
Yes.
at some point.
You got to go to Anaheim
I
next
got to
year.
go somewhere because I got to get out there.
Anaheim. I'm telling you, everybody go see it. The main host, of course, is going to be James Arnold Taylor again, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Clone Wars. He will be the main stage. He was fantastic. He was Celebration 6's main host.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has a great show. He does like an hour-long show where he does. You don't understand how many voices this guy does.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my God, he's everywhere. And he is phenomenal. He does this great show. He just kicks them off one at a time.
Really?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
That's always
Yeah.
cool to see stuff like that.
Yeah, so we went and saw that. But it's a great time. I mean, man, just walking around. If you want to talk about, if you're a Star Wars fan, you just got to be at this place because there's nothing but Star Wars fans there. 20, 30, 40,000 people, just Star Wars fans dressed up. Is phenomenal. And normally we're there passing stuff out, movies. We pass out movies down in Orlando still, so we're generous like that.
I haven't been there, but my movies have.
That's right. Yeah.
My name has been floating around.
I'm telling
there
you, what's crazy. What's really cool is like when we went to Celebration 6 this past time down in Orlando. That was 2013 or 2012? I think it was 2012. And Celebration 5 was down there 2010. So 2012 we were passing out discs, more Star Wars, more of our fan film, as well as cards for 21 Days of Scene. You remember we had those cards?
Right.
And, we're passing them around. And so the past two were in Orlando, so I went to both of those, passed out stuff. Well, I was passing around discs, and you understand, there's a few times. I'm talking probably like 7, 8 times where someone grabbed the discs and went and looked at it and said, oh, I got this last time.
Nice.
I mean,
hey,
yeah.
When you have we have that many people
looking around, yeah. I mean, we brought, I remember Celebration 5, we brought 500 of them, of each movie. Dang. This time we took 300 of each movie. But, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that first one.
So people are, the first one was, that was Celebration 3. Yeah, that was Celebration 3 when we took, gosh, that sucked.
7 o'clock in the morning, still doing final ship.
That was great.
Animations.
That was great. We drove, that was only in Indianapolis, so that was an easy drive. But anyway, no one knows what we're talking about. So
Sorry.
Reminiscent. So go if you're anywhere near it, or if you're we're in Kentucky and we're going to go to this thing. I'm telling you, it is the great time. And just think, there's going to be all kinds of Episode 7 stuff they're going to show there.
Shoot, yeah.
I mean, because I remember I went to Celebration 3, which was a month before Episode 3 came out, and I saw some behind the scenes stuff and just some exclusive footage. I was freaking floored. It was the first time they actually showed footage from a digital projector,
right. Mm-hmm.
a digital,
right.
It was digital HD.
Sure.
Oh man, freaking awesome. So anyway, gotta go check that out. All right, so real quick, Episode 7, a year and a half from now. The cast.
Yeah.
Any idea who you think the bad guy is? Who do you think is where do you think the story is? Luke's 30 years older.
See, here's the thing. One thing I don't do outside of, at least I try to limit it because we do so much in the comics and all that kind of stuff, and I see so much speculation on movies and stuff that I really avoid like every knee-jerk internet reaction to anything. So outside of like the casting pick that hit, and then Harrison Ford's injury, that kind of stuff. I pay attention, but I don't like get into the finite details of everyone's speculation on not the movie itself, but just every little thing that comes out. I just try to avoid that to a larger extent. So I haven't really given much thought to like what the story is going to be. Obviously, from the thing I have learned from the internet, that Harrison Ford plays a big role in this. So my speculation is that this is like Han Solo's swan song, Episode 7. I think he will, because he's playing such a big role. I mean, Harrison Ford, how old is he now? 70 something?
At least.
So I think that he's having such a big role in the movie that it could be, if it's focused on him, what he's doing, it'll be his kind of big pick to shine and wrap it up, basically, for Han Solo. And as far as who the big bad is, I think they will introduce. I personally think they'll introduce a whole new Sith, that we don't know about yet, to take place of Vader, Vader's apprentice, something along those lines. I don't know who. Adam Driver's been the speculation for who's going to play the bad guy.
Right.
I think he's a good choice. I've never seen his roles on Girls, but apparently he's pretty much a jerk on that show. So I met him in person, so he was real nice to me. So I didn't know anything different than his being a nice guy. So I was like, Right. But I think they're going to introduce a whole new bad that's going to end up taking down Solo, and Solo's possible death will lead everyone to rise again, type of thing. Maybe his death will solidify the Jedi again, get them going. That's my kind of rough speculation. I don't have a bigger.
Do you think Leia's a Jedi?
Yeah, I think so at this point. I would say so. Yeah, because I think apparently Carrie Fisher again. As I sit here and say I don't read much internet stuff. There's speculation that her daughter is going to play a young Princess Leia.
I don't believe that.
And then there's something about her losing weight too. Like
Right.
she's been getting in shape and stuff like that.
Correct.
So I would say I think that'd be a cool thing to see now. To actually see Princess Leia be a Jedi or an older Jedi, someone who's wise, part of the council, whatever.
Yeah, part of me thinks. Well, a part of me, I definitely 100% don't believe that her daughter is playing her younger, because I would be surprised if all of a sudden Star Wars breaks the mold,
Right.
And they don't do flashbacks.
Exactly, and that's a great point.
So I think she's going to play just a younger character. She might just play a role, but Leia, I'm torn because I want her to be a Jedi, but then part of me just thinks that she's probably the Chancellor.
Yeah, I can see that too.
She's head of the
I
Republic.
I can see that too, for sure. Because,
But she might be doing some training. I don't know. I don't know. But the speculation right now is that the rumor right now is that basically the premise of the movie is almost what's deemed the hunt for Skywalker. Like Skywalker goes missing, and Han leads a mission to go find him.
That sounds
so.
pretty
That's kind of the speculation. That's why he's in the majority of the movie.
Right.
Now, another speculation that I've read is that Adam Driver, who has been known, again, like possibly the villain, now the rumors are saying that he is actually, they're not twins, but he is a Solo son. He's the son.
Okay.
This new girl, Daisy, I think, she is the daughter. They're not. I don't think they're twins.
Right. It's not Jaina and
Not Jane and Jason. But he does succumb to the dark side by probably some other Sith
Right.
that you're talking about. That sounds more real.
That'd be cool.
too. Yeah.
I could buy that.
And then you have John Boyega, who, are you watching 24?
Yeah. Well, you know where I am on 24. I still haven't caught
Right.
past that
But you saw
episode.
John Boyega. He's the black
Yeah,
pilot.
yeah.
So he's phenomenal. I thought he's been great in that show. He's in this movie,
Oh, is he?
obviously.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay, cool.
He's got a big role. And then, of course, Andy Serkis. And then there's that other guy, Oscar Isaacs, I think. They haven't really mentioned anybody. And then there's that older gentleman, Van Scotts or something like that. That he was in. Do you remember Minority Report? He was the old guy.
Barely.
I can't remember where else he's been in.
Been reporting forever.
Yeah, but they haven't really mentioned those roles yet. But those were the main guys that they announced
Right.
in the beginning.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, what you say sounds pretty cool to me. It'd be
Absolutely.
neat to see that. It'd be kind of cool to see, Skywalker, Vader trying to get his son to become part of the dark side, and then maybe Solo has a son who actually does succumb to the dark side. That'd be kind of cool
That
to
would
see
be.
a Solo be a.
And that's what happens in the books.
That'd be cool. I could buy that. That'd be
Yeah.
neat. And like I said, I think if they're on the hunt, because I've been wondering about what's Skywalker going to play. What's his deal? And it's only, and you make a good point. There's only really two things it could be: the hunt for Skywalker. He's gone missing. He's kind of done with the whole thing, or he's going to be the new Yoda. Type of
That's
thing.
right.
So he's only got like really two places he can go, which I think would be cooler if he was missing and they had to go hunt for something. That'd be kind of a cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be a cool storyline. I
would
would
be.
dig that. And I
Which
think it'd be cool to
explains-
see Solo kind of sacrifice himself for Luke and Leia and his son. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be a nice.
And it explains the Millennium Falcon
Sure.
being prominent.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
traveling in that
I
still.
could buy that for sure.
Chewbacca's in it.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
That'd be awesome. I'd buy
The
that.
droids back in. I mean, yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I get freaking
Nah, me
chills
too.
just
It's
thinking
gonna be
about
awesome. It's
it.
gonna be very cool. Very very
Okay.
cool.
Okay. We'll obviously bring Russ back on whenever we get more news because it's tough to speculate, but
It is.
It's
But
fun.
that's good. That's good. That's a good.
It's
I like
fun.
that. I like that. Good storyline.
It is a good storyline. I mean, the first. You imagine. It just gives me chills thinking of the first footage we see. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I know. It's gonna be awesome.
okay, so trivia. Let's see. I got to add Russell to the list here now. That's it's going to be on here.
This would be bad.
So
I'm terrible at trivia.
So the record. So Chad has been on twice, and he's 2-0. He's gotten his questions right twice. Corey's been on 5 times. He is 4-1. And then we had Graham, Casey's my other nephew, Graham, my brother-in-law's son. He was on as a guest, and he got it wrong, so he was 0-1.
Oh, dang.
So, but he doesn't really know much about Star Wars.
The thing is, though, here's the thing with Star Wars. Again, I'm pretty much the classic Star Wars guy. I know most of that stuff, but you go beyond that kind of stuff, I don't know much.
Well,
I haven't read much Expanded Universe. I haven't read any Expanded Universe, honestly. I know nothing. I mean, I know the kind of the general ideas, but you go into detail about like Expanded Universe, I have no
I don't know
idea
too much. I know a little bit. But this is separated into the movie eras. So this question is going to come from the Return of the Jedi era.
Okay.
So it could be about the movie or it could be something a little bit outside of the movie. Right. So here we go. This is question number 2300.
Dang.
Which species has one large... See, this is where it's like...
That's fine.
It's a total guess. Which species has one large, central, upper fang used for tearing into live prey? Which species has one large, central, upper fang used for tearing into live prey? Is it A, a blurg, B, a rancor, C, a temptor, or D, a condor dragon? A central upper fang used for tearing into live prey.
That's not a rancor.
Yeah, I don't believe it's a rancor.
It's not
either.
a rancor. I'm going to say it's either C or D. I'm going to go with C.
Okay, Russ is going with C, a temptor.
Yeah.
I think it's temptor. I'm going to go D, dragon, condor dragon.
Yeah, I think it's one of those two.
Because I don't know what the,
I don't think it's
the other ones
rancor.
are. I don't think it's rancor either. So Russell's the guess. So we'll pick C and see what the answer is. Incorrect. And the answer is D.
Dang.
Condor dragon.
It was one of those two.
Completely guessed.
It was one of those two. No, it wasn't a rancor, though.
What's that?
I knew it wasn't a rancor. I knew it wasn't a blurg.
Definitely no, it wasn't. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is. So.
All right. So all
right. So
I'll make a comeback.
Yes. So that puts me at 40-25 is my record.
Dang.
Casey is 33-31. He's a couple back because he's missed a couple shows now, but yeah, that's fun. Okay. Actually, he is caught up now. Now he's going to be one behind now. So, all right, Russell starts off 0-1. That's all right. Chad, I can't believe Chad had 2 easy ones. Trust me, they were like straight out of the movie. So that's no fair. Anyway,
yeah, Chad, I'm coming for your record.
He doesn't listen.
Come back.
So anyway. You can check us out, of course, at InsideTheForce.com. You can check out all the episodes right there. Follow us on Twitter at Inside the Force, Facebook, Inside the Force. Doing a good job of kind of posting stuff on there as the news breaks. Ross over there is at the Director421 on Twitter. I'm D Cottingham21. We're, of course, part of the 21 Network, 21network.com. You can get all the latest podcast shows right there. Inside the Force, of course, check out inthecomics.com if you want to up to speed and reviews on all the comics that come out for the week. TV reviews, movie reviews. We will hit up every TV show, comic book wise, this fall, man. It's going to be fun.
It's almost a whole new show coming.
Yes. But of course, stay tuned here at Inside the Force where we talk about everything Star Wars. As soon as anything starts coming out, movies, books, TV, we're going to review it. We're going to talk about it right here. So keep following us. And we appreciate everybody commenting and sending us their emails. We really appreciate everybody listening. So, all right. So for Russell.
Thanks, man. Appreciate having me on. Love it.
We will have you back.
Very cool.
Very shortly. I'm David Cottingham. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.